back from the Coach's Corner, always at the Tivoli Tap House, which always has great food and great beer. I'm Connor Dockery alongside Catherine Neitenbach.
How's it going?
Catherine, school starting tomorrow, or next week from tomorrow. Are you ready?
I mean, it's my last semester, so I hope I'm ready. I'm kind of ready to be done, to be honest, but only a few more weeks. That's all I gotta keep thinking through my head.
I wish I could say this was my last semester, but I still have like about 2 more years left. But anyways, that'll be plenty more time that you can see my mug here on the Coach's Corner. Anyways, Catherine, who are we having on today's show?
Well, we're less than 1 month away from the new baseball and softball season, so we're going to hit the diamond for this entire show. We're going to start off with head baseball coach Ryan Strain and talk about what he has in store for his second season in downtown Denver. Then we're going to bring on head softball coach Annie Van Wetzinga and talk about the exciting players that she has returning for this 2018 season. And speaking of those players, we're going to bring on senior infielder Ashlee Kim, and we're going to chat with her about what her expectations are for the season as well.
Well, spring is almost here, and those sports are definitely going to be a lot of fun to watch. But before we bring on our first guest of the show, let's recap you on what happened this past weekend in Roadrunner sports. Our basketball teams ventured to Utah for their latest road trip. First stop was in Dixie State in St. George, Utah. The women battled with the Trailblazers on Friday night, and after Jalen Smith hit a basket to get her team within 2 points with 3 minutes to go, the Roadrunners missed their final 5 shots to fall 62-55. Both Smith and Emily Hardigan recorded double-doubles in the loss.
The men's team didn't fare any better against Dixie State that Friday night. MSU Denver jumped out to a 12-2 lead, but only hit 2 field goals for the rest of the first half, and the Trailblazers would go on to take the 31-point win. Drews Asa led the red and blue with 13 points.
It was on to Salt Lake City to face off with Westminster on Saturday night, but the Roadrunners didn't find much luck there either. Coach Have's squad found themselves down by 14 in the second half and would put up 29 points in the fourth quarter to make it close. But the Griffins would hold on for the 2-point win. Jalen Smith scored a team-high 22 points, while Emily Hardigan scored 19 points, while pulling down 12 rebounds.
The men's team also found themselves in a dogfight with the Griffins on Saturday night. 3 Roadrunners hit double figures in the scoring department, and the squad hit 54% from long range. But it wasn't enough, as Westminster hit 55% from the field, taking the 5-point win. 5 Griffins reached 10 or more points.
So now we bring on the head coach of the baseball team, Ryan Strain. Coach, good to have you back on the show.
Thanks, guys. How you guys doing?
Good, thank you.
Good.
So your squad had their first official practice of 2019 last week. What excites you most about this time of the season?
Just getting everybody back, you know. I mean, with the rules and stuff, you basically have a week after Thanksgiving, and then you don't see them for about 6 weeks. So just actually to start working with them again, see what they've done, you know, over that 6 weeks. And then we had 5 new players transfer in, so just kind of getting them acclimated to the team and just getting ready to go.
Can you take us behind the scenes for the first practices and the first week of your season?
Yeah, I mean, basically when we got out there, we did a little bit of everything, you know. I mean, we were fortunate to have some good weather that first day before we had to go inside the next 2 days. So, you know, we were able to do some BP scrimmage. We were able to do all individual and team defensive stuff. And then probably the most important thing was all our pitchers got to throw on the mound for the first time, you know, making sure that they were ready before our first scrimmages.
And as we mentioned before, this is your second season with the MSU Denver Roadrunners. Has your message changed at all towards this season and what you're trying to instill into these players? Or is it more or less the same approach that you had the first season?
I think it's the same approach, you know, the philosophical way of what we're trying to do. But, you know, this year's a little bit different because we have 21 new players. You know, last year's team had a lot of returners. You know, most of the team was back, you know, from the previous year, and they were getting new to me, but, you know, they were used to the league. Whereas this year, with 21 new players, there's a lot of new stuff going on. So just trying to get everybody on the same page and just trying to get ourselves ready to go.
So, Coach, you lost some incredible hitters this last year. Some of the names, Trent Maloney, Donnie Ortiz. Who are the players that are kind of stepping up into those positions and taking over their places?
Well, hopefully we have some returners that are going to step up into that role. I mean, Jake Costaitis and Draven Adame both played for us last year. Catch and played first base. Dylan Nelson also played last year. Jimmy Hollinger's coming back. And then, you know, Logan Sewell had a great year last year as a pitcher and as a position player, so he'll be back as well. But, you know, since we have so many new guys, all the jobs jobs are open. So, you know, there's going to be a lot of names that nobody has heard of if they followed our team in the past that are going to step in and play quite a bit, just because we lost, you know, a couple of guys that you mentioned, and then we lost some other players too that were, you know, had a lot of at-bats in their college career. So, you know, I mentioned some of the guys are returning, but, you know, with all the new guys coming in, you know, who knows what's going to happen here when we make my first lineup.
So you mentioned the pitching a little bit earlier. What can fans expect from that side of the ball? You're bringing back a solid veteran in Javi Vega back to the squad to lead that group.
Yeah, I mean, Javi, you know, being, you know, basically being back for his 5th year, but his 4th year playing, that, you know, he'll be a staple in our rotation this year at some spot. I'm not sure quite where that'll be, but I think the pitching staff's what excites me the most. That's one of the things that, you know, we tried to make some changes with the recruiting and bringing in quite a few guys. We know we lost quite a few last year's graduation, but, you know, we wanted to strengthen that part of it, you know, because if we're going to be able to win, we're going to have to play really good defense, and we're going to have to pitch really well. I mean, the teams that, you know, played really well last year in our league, they all could pitch. And so, you know, with Javi coming back, there's a lot of new faces as well that are going to be, you know, on the starting rotation. But I think Javi Vega and Logan Sewell both start this weekend, or the first weekend to start off with, and then, you know, kind of see where all these other guys fill in.
So it seems like MSU Denver has a really good, solid defense. You guys finished top 5 in the conference in fielding percentage in 2018. Do you still feel confident about that?
Yeah, I think actually this year, I think, you know, what we've seen in the fall is I think we have a chance to even be better than we were last year defensively. So, you know, we're going to have to see what happens as we go throughout the season. But, you know, I really like, we brought in, you know, several new infielders. Jimmy coming back from last year. You know, I feel really confident with where we are defensively. And then our outfield as well. I mean, we lost 2 starters in the outfield, but the guys that we brought in can really run and cover a lot of ground. So, you know, hopefully I'm optimistic that we're going to be really good on defense, which should help our pitching staff as well. And if we can pitch and play defense, like I said before, then we give ourselves a chance in every game.
So for the first few weeks of this new season, your team's going to be heading out on the road. Was there any specific reason behind this, or did that just happen because of scheduling?
A little bit of scheduling, but I wanted to give our guys a chance to leave and go somewhere warm. I mean, it's been quite a while, and I'm not really sure exactly when the last time they've been out to California, but, you know, we have a couple players that are from California, 2 kids that are seniors this year that are from San Diego area. So give us a chance to go out there. Wanted to play good competition, wanted to get, you know, some good weather. And then the Emporia State weekend is just a return trip for them coming out last year, so we're just kind of, that was already on the schedule. So it'll be a good test for us. Both teams are good. You know, this team, Cal San Marcos, will be outside, 70 and sunny every day in San Diego right now, so that'll be a good challenge for us. And then going over to Emporia, which perennial has been a really good program. And then we'll come back home and play 2 good teams before we get ready for conference.
So in that first series in San Marcos, California, which starts on February 1st, what are some things specifically that you're looking for from your club in that first series?
I just want to see us play hard. I mean, I think that's the most important thing. You know, that's something that I pressed upon our team since we've been there. We have to play with a certain type of style. You know, the way that I want to play with a high-pressured offense, getting on and off the field. I think if we can establish that with the first series, then it's going to lead into the rest of the year. But, you know, the main thing is to play hard, you know, and we'd like to win all 3 games for sure. But if our guys play hard and come out ready to go, you know, I think it'll put us in a good position moving forward.
All right, we're going to move a little bit away from the baseball part, but we were perusing your coaching staff, and we noticed on RoadRunnersAthletics.com that there was another strain listed on your coaching staff. Can you kind of give us a little bit of insight to that coach and what he's going to be doing in the season of 2018?
Yeah, it's actually my dad. So
really?
My dad's name's Joe Strain, and my grandpa coached here as a basketball coach in the late 80s, early 90s. And then that's Joe Strain Sr. Joe Strain Jr. is my dad, who will be coaching with us. You know, spent a lot of years coaching baseball. He played in the major leagues, and then the last probably 20 years or so, he's been a scout with the Giants organization, and he moved all the way up to being a national cross-checker these last several years. And he just got to the point where he was getting kind of tired, you know, worn out of all the travel. He'd been with the Giants for over 40 years, and you know, it's time to kind of hang him up and just retire. And you know, having the opportunity to come coach with me was unique. I asked him about it, and you know, wanted him to do it when I took the job. And he's like, that's your thing. You kind of do your own thing. And I said, you know, Dad, not many people have an opportunity to get somebody that's managed in professional baseball, played in the big leagues, has been a scout that can come coach with you. And so at first he was just going to help me on the recruiting side, and then eventually I've talked him into not just help me on that side, but also come onto the field. So I'm excited. Not many people get an opportunity to do that. I was fortunate to play for him in high school and also play for him in professional baseball, and now I get to coach with him at the college level. So it's exciting for all of us and our family, and should be fun.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah. Well, Coach, it'll be interesting to see how some of that MLB experience will transfer over to your team, see how they do. We're excited for the new season. We wish you best of luck in the 2019 season.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
We're at that end of the first segment. Before we go, we're going to read you the tweet of the week. It comes from the Loyola Marymount Twitter account, where they celebrated former MSU Denver men's basketball head coach Mike Dunlap for reaching 400 career wins. Mike Dunlap, who helped the Roadrunners win 2 Division II national championships, won 248 games in 9 seasons in downtown Denver. So a big congratulations to Coach Dunlap, who continues to win games and coach it at a very high level. Now it's time for that break, but we're coming right back with some softball talk next on the Coach's Corner.
I'm Kyle Jones. I'm a junior this year on the cross-country team. You're watching the Coach's Corner, and get rowdy.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Before we chat with Coach Annie Van Wetzinga of the softball team, we are excited to tell you that you can enjoy a couple of delicious Tivoli brews in can form. From their top-of-the-line Hellas Brew to their traditional Brutiful IPA, you can now enjoy those beers from the can, and you can purchase those in select liquor stores. Visit TivoliBrewingCo.com for more information. So now we say...
Did you say Brutiful?
Brutiful.
That's awesome.
Brutiful IPA.
I like it. I like it. Pun intended.
Extra punch there in the IPA. So, well, Annie Van Wetzinga, head coach of the softball team. How are you doing?
Good, thanks. Thanks for having me, you guys.
Absolutely. So now you enter your 6th season with the Roadrunners program. You have reached 30 or more wins in every single season that you've been here. What do you think has been the key to your success during your time here?
It starts with the players. You know, you don't have success without being surrounded with the right people and the right players. So we've been definitely blessed with having good athletic players, and we've had some players that are buying in and doing the right thing. So definitely, you know, we've had good teams filled with good players.
Last week was the first week of practices for you. What gets you really most excited about this time of the year?
Just that it's getting close. You know, all first semester we're just practicing and training, and it always kind of seems so far away. And now we're less than a month away from first games, and it's like we're really ramping it up, and we have just more excitement, and it's kind of like that light at the end of the tunnel to actually get to cracking and get to playing games. It's what we're here for.
Can you give us a little bit of an insight into the types of things that you're doing at practice to prepare for this season?
Well, nothing, not trying to reinvent the wheel or anything. A lot of drills. You know, our biggest thing as a coaching staff is we're trying to really focus on like the little things and consistency. You know, we've always wanted to be good defensively, but we are refocusing this year of like we want to be the best defensive team in the RMAC. If teams are going to score, we want them to earn their runs and really have to fight and work to score. And so that's a big thing for us, is focusing on that defensive side of the ball. And then honestly, just things we can control has been a huge, I guess, message, and things we're talking about with the team is, you know, our attitude, our energy, our effort, all that stuff. We want to bring that every day and just be a great teammate.
So last time we had you on the show, you said you were going to make every player accountable for being a leader this year and not just a handful of players. How do you feel your players are responding to that tactic here in the early part of the season?
Good, actually. You know, we kind of had a meeting today just to kind of reevaluate and reestablish some goals, and we kind of talked about some of that stuff, and it was nice because we had seniors talking and speaking up, but then we had a lot of freshmen also stepping up and sharing thoughts, and everybody in between. So I actually think it's going well, and hopefully, you know, the biggest thing is I think the natural leaders and probably the people with experience will naturally rise and be those leaders and the ones showing everybody the way. But, you know, the biggest goal is to help everybody kind of feel empowered, that they have an important role, whatever that looks like, and to kind of have a voice and to have that accountability for whatever their role is.
It seems like there were some great performances with your starting pitching in 2018. Some of the names, Darby McGee, Kylie Burnside, Destiny Lopez, all three of them are coming back this year. So are you feeling pretty good about this team in 2019?
I am. Last year was a really significant amount of time, or big year for them to get a significant amount of experience. Like Darby's a junior now, but she was behind a couple pitchers her freshman year. So last year was her first time in a role of being a starter and having that many innings. And then it was Kylie and Destiny's first year here. And so it was a little bit of up and down, but I can just see a difference in them already this year. A lot more consistent. They're handling everything a lot better. And they've had some really good workouts. So I'm excited about what they can bring and use with that experience for us. And then we also have a couple freshmen in the mix too, so we have a lot of options and they can really complement each other.
So fans who have been following this program will know the names of, you know, Serena Espinoza, Annika Anderson, and Peters. They were key players in leading your squad to a 4th place finish in hitting. Who do you think this season will be your leaders in those categories this season?
Yeah, no, those are good questions. You know, we were talking about it. We pretty much lost the middle of our lineup last year. You know, we lost, and it was production that's been there for multiple years, 3-4 years.
Yeah.
The girls that were being entrenched in the lineup, and so. You know, that's a big void to fill. We do return Karina Wright. She won Freshman of the Year last year and had a breakout, especially kind of about midway through the year, really broke out and settled in. So I think Corey will have another good year. In terms of power, you know, I think Allie Richter, she was our shortstop last year and came on strong, again, kind of settled in towards the end of the year, and she has some power potential. And then we have some freshmen and new players that I think can, you know, they kind of put some things together. We have some definite potential. Yeah.
A little later on the show, we're going to have Ashlee Kim joining us, and she had a really big breakout season in 2018. Can you talk to us about her and what you really want to see from her in 2019?
Yeah, for sure. No doubt she had a breakout year last year, which was really, it was fun to see. And honestly, I think by the end of the year, she was really kind of maybe our best leader, just not just because of the production, but the way she carried herself, the energy, how hard she played. And really, it's fun to see because she does work so hard, and she's been working so hard at her craft. She came in as a right-handed hitter. We switched her around to a left-handed slapper, which isn't an easy thing. And then last year, you really saw her finally kind of figure everything out, and she figured out the mental side. She always kind of had the physical and the work ethic, but I think last year she really figured out kind of how to have fun and relax and use her skill. And this year I just want her to continue to have fun. She's a senior, and so I don't want her to press too much and worry about that sort of thing. I just want her to continue to work hard, have fun, and bring that passion that she has for the game to the field.
So the Regency Athletic Complex is going to be the host of the 2019 Division II National Championships. How exciting is that for MSU Denver, and what can fans expect during the time that the National Championships are occurring?
No, it's really exciting. You know, it helps put us on the map a little bit and show everyone what we have here. I think it can be a good recruiting tool for sure, no doubt we're using it. But what to expect, really good softball. Really good softball. I don't think a lot of people understand the level of quality that you can get at Division II, and then especially you're talking about you get the top 8 teams in the entire nation in one tournament. It's fun to watch, and there's some really good athletes out there.
So while we're sure you and your squad would love to be playing in that national championship game, are you out there trying to motivate your squad with such a goal, with it being here, or are you just hoping that on their own they find that motivation to, you know, oh, we should go as far as we can, hopefully play there?
Yeah, no, I think, you know, we've talked about it like, hey, you know where the World Series at, right? They're like, yeah, here, you know. But to me, those are kind of obvious goals. It's just like, obviously we want to win conference. Obviously we want to get in the postseason and go far. But we've really kind of stepped back, and like those goals are always there. to me, we want to kind of focus on like, how do you get there? You know, if you're constantly focused on that, then maybe you forget about the details that will results in that. So a lot of our goals have been based around day in, day out, what do we have to do to get there? Kind of more of that working through the grind and bringing it every day.
Well, it's that time of the show where we try to stump the coach and some trivia questions. This will be your first time doing it on the show this season.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Very.
For those who
The
don't
first new
know.
coach of the season, of the year. We had last season, Coach Ball.
Some of the leadoff hitter.
This is someone to
for
lead off
for 2019.
For this season.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're starting off, Coach Van Wetzinga. We ask her a multiple choice question, see if she gets it right. And at the end of the season, we add up all the points, and coach with the most points will get a cool prize. Are you ready to play?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right,
Glad
here's
to hear
your
it.
questions. It's multiple choice.
Okay.
Who is the all-time home runs leader in the softball program history? Is it A, Janessa Tassone, B, Tara Mickelson,
B.
or C, Molly Clark?
B.
It's B? I'm sorry, Coach.
Is it A?
It was A. Answer A.
Janessa hit more than Tara? I don't know about that.
Janessa Tassone, who played from 2008
I'm gonna fact check
2011.
It's because Tara wasn't here all 4 years.
We'll have some off-camera fact-checking between Coach and Eric Lansing.
Great. But you do have a chance for a bonus point. So can you tell us how many career home runs Miss Tassone had in her Roadrunner career? And you can be close. You don't have to be exact.
Are these multiple choice?
This is not.
It's
You
a
just get
guess.
to pick a
Just
number.
a bonus. I'm going to say 75.
Oh, well, I'm seeing it now. The answer was
68.
56.
56.
56.
Oh, you got it.
56, all right.
But
I didn't get it.
Yeah, unfortunately, no
All right,
points.
there are more chances for points during the season.
Okay.
This isn't your only
Great.
shot.
Yeah.
I'll keep my head up.
Well,
She's gonna study. She's gonna study and be the top
I
one.
will. I was so confident, Tara.
well, keep track on Coach's Corner. We'll see if Coach Van Wetzinga can get some more points in future shows.
I coached against all 3 of those girls when I was at mine, so they all could hit. So it really didn't matter.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for the time, and good luck to your squad as they get ready for the 2019 season.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Time for one more break, but we'll continue the softball talk as we bring on senior Ashlee Kim up next on the Coach's Corner.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
We are student athletes from the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference.
Let's get real about mental health.
1 in 4 of us are currently living with a mental illness.
Let's have an honest conversation about mental health.
1 in 2 of us
will have a mental health issue during our lifetime.
Most of those who can get help improve their quality of life.
You can help stamp out the stigma
associated with seeking help.
Take the pledge at Stamp Out Stigma.
I'm Stephanie Laraway, senior middle blocker.
And the block, Stephanie Laraway, the leader on this team in blocks, coming up big.
You're watching Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
We are back here on the Coach's Corner. Before we get to know Ashlee Kim, we want to remind you that you can follow us on Twitter at MSU Denver Sports. It's your home for everything Roadrunners athletics, from feature stories to scores to highlights, interviews, even replays of this show. You can keep up with MSU Denver all season long on Twitter at MSU Denver Sports. So now we say hello to infielder Ashlee Kim of the softball team. Ashlee, thanks for hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah, of course. So we just talked about Twitter. Are you a big social media person? Do you have a Twitter account, or do you stay kind of far away?
I do. I do have Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the, basics, whatever. I'm not huge on it, but, I go on every once in a while just to stay in the loop, I guess.
If you don't mind me asking, what was the last thing you tweeted?
Oh, I'm not sure, actually. I don't retweet or tweet a whole lot, but I do The last thing I liked, I can tell you, was that gymnastics video from UCLA, that girl that was like amazing.
Oh, yeah.
They always are.
Yeah.
So as I heard, between you and Connor, you're from Castle Rock and you graduated from Douglas County High School. Can you kind of tell us how you ended up going to school here and playing softball for MSU Denver?
Yeah, so the recruiting process for softball starts pretty early, you know, like freshman, sophomore year. And basically, like, we just travel around, talk to a bunch of coaches, you know, go to visit a lot of schools. And the biggest thing for me was I really wanted to stay in a city, you know, to go to school and play. And it was between here and one other school in California, actually. I went to go visit the California school, San Francisco State, actually. Okay. I ended up loving it. You know, the campus was gorgeous. I was like, I'm totally, like, leaving. I'm out of here. See ya. I'm going to West Coast. And then I ended up coming on a visit here. It wasn't long after. It was probably a couple weeks after. And I fell in love with it. I was like, all right, thought I was leaving, thought I was, you know, out, but no, I really can't leave this place. I love Denver, you know, I love the coach. I fell in love with the field and the program and everything, so I'm really happy with my decision to stay here.
She picked us over San Francisco.
Ouch, ouch, California. We get Ashlee Kim.
We got the good ones.
Well, again, it's pretty cool for me to see a fellow Douglas County Husky on the show. I graduated there the year after, in 2016. On RoadRunnersAthletics.com, it says you're majoring in business management and marketing. Is that still the case? And what's the dream job once you graduate?
It is. That's still the case. Gosh, I get that question all the time, and I don't have a legitimate answer. But I really want to stay involved in athletics. I feel like I'll be bouncing around a lot, really trying to figure out what I want to do and, you know, who I want to be. But I think the end goal is to stay in athletics, you know, work with the school, work with the team, potentially be a coach, you know, so.
So was it like anything like specifically like with a coach? Did you want to like be like a head coach or more of like an assistant coach?
I think head coach, like, definitely down the road. I don't think at all I'm ready to be a head coach for any kind of team. But I really do like the role of an assistant coach. I help my dad's team and my old coaches' teams out a lot over the summer, which I really love, getting to work with different girls and, you know, teaching them new things and, you know, seeing, you know, helping them improve their talent. So.
You've spent your entire college career playing softball here at MSU Denver, and it seems like you had a breakout season this past season. You led your team in hits, runs, and stolen bases. Did something just kind of click for you last season? What was it like?
Yeah, I think so. My freshman year, I played a lot, but coming in, I wasn't really expecting anything. I was like, all right, I'm a freshman. I'm brand new to the team and all this, so I'm just kind of like going to put it all out there and see where it goes. Ended up going really well, and then I was coming back from an injury, and I was switched from the right side to the left side, and so sophomore year I struggled a lot getting in my own head and like trying to work things out, work the kinks out. But my junior year really all came together. I felt much more comfortable. You know, I had all this experience now. I felt more comfortable with coach and the girls and the program, and I really knew how things ran and what the expectations were. So it just like, it was a lot of mental battles for me, getting over not being able to be perfect and just, you know, doing what I can do, being the best I can be. And it really came together. So really thankful for that.
So in terms of Coach Van Wetzinga, what's it like playing for her, and do you have any good stories about her that you want to share?
Oh gosh, well, she's sitting right there. I don't know if that should be. Well, I love playing for Coach Van. I wouldn't go, I'm really happy I came here. Like I said, I wouldn't go anywhere else having the experience that I have. She's definitely one of the tougher coaches I've ever, you know, played with, been experienced with, and there's a lot of stories. But no, it's been really great, really awesome. She definitely, you know, instills a lot of values that I definitely, you know, find myself living on the field as well as off the field. So that's really been, she's more of like, I see now that I'm older and like in my last season, she's more of a life coach rather than just a softball coach. She really, you know, gets you prepared for the real world.
There we go.
So as you probably already know, you've got 45 career stolen bases, which puts you third of all time in Roadrunners history. Can you take us through a stolen base attempt?
Stolen base, well, There's really not much to it. You just gotta, get your head down and just run till you, hit the base. It really helps being quick. Timing is everything. You gotta leave as soon as, the pitcher gets here, but you can't get caught leaving too early. And then sliding is a big part of it too. You really want to get around the base and not run into the tag, really avoid the defender, but just head down and run.
How's the feeling with it? Do you really like stealing bases? Is that one of your favorites?
Yeah, it's really awesome, like getting up and running, knowing like you beat the catcher, you beat the throw, so it's really awesome.
A real adrenaline rush kind of thing.
And now you're in scoring position, so you're like, here I am, hit me in.
All right, so we all know seniors want to go out with a bang in their final year, but tell us what specific goals you have for yourself as you start to play out your final season here with the Roadrunners.
A specific goal I have for myself is really enjoy every moment, not take anything for granted. Of course, I want to be successful, I want the team to be successful, and I want to go far into the postseason. But really, this is my last season, so I want to enjoy every moment of it. That's my biggest goal.
Well, Ashlee, thank you for taking the time once again to hang out with us tonight. Wish you the best of luck in your senior season.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Before we get out of here, let's tell you what's coming up ahead this weekend in Roadrunners sports. Our basketball teams will be back home this weekend at the Auraria Event Center. On Friday night, the CSU Pueblo Thunderwolves will visit downtown Denver. The women's game will tip off at 5:30, while the men will get going at 7:30. Then Coach Ball and Coach Have will battle New Mexico Highlands on Saturday night. The women's game will start at 5, while the men's game starts at 7. Come on out and support the squads as they look to climb up that ladder in the RMAC standings.
To finish off the weekend, our indoor track and field teams will head east to Chadron, Nebraska to compete in the Chadron State College Invitational. The event will take place all day Sunday on February 20th. And we want to wish Coach Christopher and her squad the best of luck as they continue their 2018-2019 season.
Well, that's going to be a wrap for this episode on Coach's Corner. I want to thank Coach Strain, Coach Van Wetzinga, and Ashlee Kim for joining us tonight. I'm Connor Dockery. Thanks for Catherine Neitenbach joining me as the co-host once again. We'll see you next time on the Coach's Corner with Con and Kath.